Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, middle, and high school age. We are in our 12th year homeschooling this year. Today I am going to be sharing all about my planner lineup for 2023. If you are not subscribed, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you are notified of all of my future videos. Yeah, so let's get into it. This video is something I've been really excited to share with you guys because I'm making some significant changes to my planning system for 2023. I have been using essentially the same planning system since 2014, and that has been a weekly vertical Erin Condren life planner. It's actually right over here. And with that life planner, I have used the power sheets and my Erin Condren teacher planner for homeschool planning. Now, the teacher planner is not changing, and that's actually the first planner that I will share with you. It is my Erin Condren teacher planner. I get this to start in July. It goes July through June. I think there are a few different ways that you can get it set up. July through June, August through July, September through August, and then a January through December. I think those are the 4 options. I always get July through June. July is the start of our homeschool year. Every year it's when I roll things over. It's when I typically start our new curriculum. So that works for me. I don't foresee changing my teacher planner, my homeschool planning process at all in the near future. I really like how I use the teacher planner. It's super functional for me. I have a lot of videos on how I use it. I will leave a link in the description box if you are interested. So that one is staying the same, and I will get the new one whenever it comes out, April, May, whenever they release their new planners, around then. And yeah, that is not going to change. However, the next planner is one that I have been sharing quite a bit lately in my weekly Plan With Me's, and that is the Passionate Penny Pincher Home Planner. Now, I saw this planner for the first time. I'd never even heard of this planner until this year, and I happened to see an ad for it being released, and it looked really interesting. And so I did purchase it, and it came with a ton of digital files as well, which is how I've been using, that's how I've been able to utilize this planner before 2023 starts. So why I got this planner was because of all of the amazing checklists on the planning pages, as well as the weekly projects, all of the checklist pages. Home is definitely going to be a focus of mine for 2023. I have been talking about it, honestly, since 2020 when we moved into this new home. I have not figured out a good rhythm here. We lived in our last house for about 14 years, and I had a system, and this house is completely different, and my system from my previous house really doesn't work here. And so I've kind of been floundering. Also, everything that happened with 2020 kind of threw a wrench in all of our original plans when we moved into this house, which was like 2 weeks before everything shut down. So it was a little bit odd for me to move into a new home and having all of our plans appended, but you have to roll with the punches. However, I have not been managing my time well and managing the home well at all since we've moved in here. It's not something that I am pleased with. So I saw this planner, and with all of the checklists, I thought it would be helpful for me. Now, I've been using the checklist for several weeks now, and there are definitely a lot of changes that I do have to make weekly and daily based on things that we do in our home on specific days. So it's going to be an adjustment. And I've mentioned this in my weekly Plan With Me's, that there are 2 huge differences in this planner than what I'm used to. The first is that it is a horizontal planner, and I have used a vertical planner since 2014. So that's that. And then the other thing is that this planner has a Sunday start. Now, they do offer a digital planner and PDF printables that has a Monday start. However, Number one, I didn't know that that was an option to purchase when I bought this planner. And number two, I'm not a digital planner at all, and I wasn't sure that I would print out all of this for a printable planner. Perhaps I would have. And, we'll see how it goes. I have a lot of ideas. I haven't really settled on it, but the main reason that I got this planner was because of the lists. It is also because of the budgeting worksheets in the planner. I have been trying this year to move to more paper budgeting instead of just using my Excel spreadsheet, which I've used for 20 plus years. It hasn't been going as great as I would like, and I may not end up using a paper planner. I may end up using like Every Dollar or YNAB or something online. I do like to keep track of things on paper, but I'm not sure I can make my brain work for financial planning on paper. We shall see. But so the original purpose was home and budget planning. And I do still have this vertical weekly planner that goes through 2023, but I realize that I have not been doing as much weekly planning as I normally do, and that is because I have been using a daily planner. Now, because I've been using a daily planner and now I have this weekly planner, I don't need 2 weekly planners because that is just overkill. Even for somebody who enjoys planning and writing down all of the things in many places, that is overkill. So I had to kind of think about what I wanted to do with my weekly planning. There are definitely still things that I want to see on a week at a glance, and that's mainly appointments and such. But because I write all of that stuff down on our big family calendar in the kitchen, I don't necessarily have to have a weekly spread open for me. So I kind of thought, and what I've been toying with the past several weeks as I've been using those planner printables that came with the home planner, is to transfer my weekly planning just into this home planner. And I think that it may work for what I need it to do. However, there are some functions and features in my vertical planner that I would lose if I just went to this home planner. Number one is the monthly calendar. The monthly calendar in here is quite large in this home planner. However, it would not be enough space for me to write all of the home and budget things that I want to keep track of in the monthly calendar in my home planner, as well as keeping track of all of the other things, all of the appointments, the activities, the homeschool dates, performances, all of the things. I really need the monthly calendar in my vertical weekly. Now, I have been using an A5 daily planner for a little over a year now, and this also has some of the same things that, well, it has a lot of the same things that the Weekly Life Planner has, namely the calendar and these dashboard pages at the beginning of each month. But the A5 size is too small for how I use it in my vertical weekly, which you can see these are my goal planning pages right now showing up because I've not been using the power sheets since about May this year, and I've transferred most of my goal planning into my life planner for the monthly tending list anyways. And so I realized that if I want to continue using a daily planner, I need it to be larger so that I can use those pages. I know as somebody who works out of multiple planners that I will not have a use for every single page, but I didn't want to completely lose some of the things. And I knew that this home planner, for the purposes that I have for it, it would not be adequate as just the one planner that I use. And I knew that I would need to keep track of more stuff than the room in my A5 allows me. I know, it's very confusing, right? So what I ended up doing was I did purchase the 7x9 Daily Duo in the color blends. And I just got this, man, like a couple of days ago when I'm filming this. And I'm really excited about it. I really am. This is the same exact layout as the A5, and it's probably a little bit more space than I need for my daily planning. But the reason that I'm switching to the 7x9 from the A5 is because of the monthly calendar, which is exactly the same as my vertical weekly size monthly calendar, because this is also 7x9, just like my life planner was, or is. And then also so that I can still have these dashboard pages to work on my goal setting for 2023. I have moved to creating my own sort of action plan for the month, as well as tracking some extra things. And I set this up monthly. It's been working really well for me, and it's something that I wanted to continue for 2023 since I'm not using Power Sheets or any particular goal planner for this year. So I have these as my daily planner for 2023. Now, I have been an academic planner person since I started using a teacher planner, because I kind of think of my year July through June for homeschooling purposes. And so I've always just done that for my life planner as well. I always get the last 6 months of the year. So this is an 18-month planner. That is going to be a little bit different for me in this Daily Duo setup. I'm hoping that because this is also a yearly planner, a calendar year planner, because it has this entire calendar year for 2023 as well as 2024, I'm hoping that some of the things that I typically track in my life planner for those mini monthly calendars, I can move to the home planner. It's a little frustrating to me that for the Daily Duo, they only give you 6 months of 2023 as the mini monthly calendars, and then they give you all of 2024. So in the Daily Duo, this one is the January through June. So it has January through June of the mini monthly calendars. And then in the July through December, it has July through December as well as 2024 in it. I think it would make so much more sense if it had the full 2023 here, because how I use these is for vacations, days off, all of that kind of stuff. And I want to see it all at a glance. And so I probably will either print out a giant sticker down here or just write out July through December down here so that I do have that all at a glance, because I don't think that I will want to track personal stuff necessarily in my home planner. Does that make sense? I don't know. But overall, I'm really excited about combining a lot of things from my weekly planner and my daily planner together, because I think that going forward, I don't want to have so many planners. I have not used my weekly planner as fully as normal since I started using the daily planner. I do still plan out my weeks, although I've been planning them in my home planner printables recently, so I haven't been doing anything at all in my vertical life planner. So I'm still kind of up in the air as to how I'm going to utilize weekly planning for me, because I do still sit down weekly and do planning, but I'm not sure how that's going to translate into my home planner and into my daily planner. Now, one of the other features of the daily planner that I really like is that it has a lined page in between Sunday and Monday. And so instead of doing weekly planning, all of that brain dump stuff that I typically do in my vertical planner, I've been just using this page between Sunday and Monday to brain dump all of the things that I need to think about for the week ahead, or projects that I want to kind of put in specific places, or I don't have a specific place for, but I know that I want to get it done. So this kind of brain dump list is really helping me figure out what I need to work on in the week ahead. So that's kind of how my planning has gone. I'll do this brain dump, and then I will put things on, this is from a couple of weeks ago, I will put things on my weekly list that I've printed out from the home planner, just to keep track of. And then when I'm doing my daily planning each morning, I kind of refer to this to see, well, is there something that I really needed to do? Like, oh, I have to go to the library, and because I don't do my daily planning in advance, I do it on the morning of. And that's kind of why I still need the weekly planner, I feel like, because I don't want to lose tasks that I've planned out on Sunday for the week ahead because I don't plan ahead in my daily planner. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is kind of where I'm at right now with my planning process. We'll see how it goes. There is still the potential that I will move back into my vertical weekly after I'm really used to these lists in the home planner, especially if I find that the budgeting worksheets are not working for me. And if I go back to a digital budgeting system or an Excel budgeting system, then I won't need all of this space in this home planner, specifically these worksheets and such. And I still have access to all of the digital downloads, so I can still print them or view them as I need to as I'm planning out my week, but maybe I don't need it in a physical form. Obviously, I haven't started using this full time yet. That won't happen until January. I still need to set it up. I still need to see how that is going to work for budgeting and whatnot. But that is my plan for right now. Always subject to change. You know, new planners, new academic planners start to come out April, May. Who knows how things will go once we start getting into 2023. The next two planners that I have are planners that I have been using for many years. Well, this one specifically I've been using for many years. The other one this will be the third year that I'm using it. So not really anything different. Also calendar year planners. This is a monthly planner from Erin Condren. This is specifically for my business planning. I love using an Erin Condren monthly planner. I like that there are lots of notes pages that you get between each month, and at the back, well, if you order extras, you can get them. I do all of my content planning in here. I do all of my coaching. I write down all of my coaching stuff. These I use for writing themes that I want to focus on each month. This is the In Bloom. I think that's what it's called this year. Yes, Flora was last year, I think. So this is the In Bloom design. I got the vegan leather cover. I have a rose gold coil. All of my coils except the home planner are rose gold. I got the vegan leather cover because I honestly never change my covers on my Erin Condren planners. Whatever cover I get, it typically just stays on for the whole year. So I thought, well, I'll just get the vegan leather cover. And this is so pretty with the rose gold foil accents. I really like it a lot. I really enjoy the Erin Condren products. So this is something that I will continue to use for 2023. This is the other planner that I have been using right along, and this is just a pocket planner. This is the Color Blends version. It's a 2023 pocket planner. It is a horizontal layout, and the reason that I got this when they first came out was because I wanted something to have at night as part of my evening routine, just having something to write a couple of lines, a memory or something funny that the kids did or said, some sort of happy moment from the day, something I'm grateful for, whatever. There's not a ton of lines. This is not a brain dump notebook. This is not a flesh out all of my feelings notebook. This is not a negative notebook at all. This is purely for happy memories, and I keep it in my my bedside table, and it's really nice, especially if I'm having a hard day and I don't feel like there's something good to write down. I can go back and read through some of the other things that I've written, and it improves my mood, especially going into bed. You want a good mood going to sleep. And it's just a nice memory to have. Have I been successful to do it every day? No. There are definitely months where I don't even touch it, but that's something that I hope to work on. An evening routine. I really struggle with an evening routine, but this is perfect as part of my evening routine, and it is one thing that I do the most of at night. So I will continue to use this planner for 2023. Again, it is a calendar year planner. They're super cute. It's like a softish cover. But yeah, and it has a little ribbon. I like it. Now, the next two things are not planners, but they are notebooks. They are completely new for 2023. I'm really excited about them. The first one is this Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid notebook. It is the B5 size. It is compositions, like those composition notebooks for science and such. It is all dot grid. This is going to be totally set up for me. It's got a soft cover. I really like it quite a bit. This is going to be for my reading journal for 2023. 2022 was the first year that I kept a reading journal, and I used an Erin Condren monthly notebook as the reading journal, and I really, really like how I set up all of the dashboard pages, how I set up the 12 goals boxes at the beginning of the year. All of those things I really was excited about, and I've continued to use those. However, the monthly notebook from Erin Condren has notes pages between the months. They do not just come at the back of the planner. They used to just be at the back of the planner, and there weren't notes pages in between the months. But they have reformatted it, so now the notes pages come between the months, and then you would add extra notes pages in the back if you want them. Going into 2022, with all of the reading that I've been doing, I thought I would use those notes pages in the between the months for note taking on books that I've read, quotes, and reviews. That has not happened at all. I have written very few notes this year. I have not really kept track of any quotes or anything like that. And because of that, there are a lot of empty pages in my reading journal. Now, because I use so many planners, I know that there are going to be places where I don't have every page used in every planner, and that's fine. However, in this particular planner, the only pages that I was using were the dashboard pages to keep track of all the books that I read each month, my favorites, 5-star reads, all of that tracking stuff, and the monthly calendar, which is where I write down new releases that I know are coming out or books from authors that I want to check out. But those notes pages between the months, I barely touch them at all. And so I knew that I needed a different system. Now, I really like how I set up the monthly planner, so I am going to attempt to do that in this dot grid notebook. I am not a bullet journal person. I have said over and over, I do not have pretty handwriting. I am a very functional planner person, but I do like to keep track of things, and I want to keep track of reading. I want to have a space that I can write reviews, that I can take notes, especially as I'm moving into more nonfiction again. The past couple of years, I've mainly read fiction books, which I will annotate some of those books, and definitely quotes will come from those books, but my note-taking on nonfiction or any type of personal development or education for myself from books, I am all in on college note-taking. But I haven't been doing a lot of that because I've been so focused on fiction lately. So this, I don't know how long it will last me. My hope is that I know it will last at least a year. If I start taking a ton of notes and I need to move into another notebook, that will be something different. But my plan is to set up all of my monthly dashboard pages the same way that I had them in the monthly planner, and then have like a section for quotes and a section for notes and a section for whatever else, reviews that I want to do, so that I'm not wasting pages, and then I can just fully use this. And if it ends up being something where I get to the end of the year and there's a lot of space left, well, I can continue to use this for 2024. There's no reason that I have to change it because it's a blank notebook. Or again, if I use it all up in 6 months, highly unlikely, then I can get a new one and move forward. And then obviously I would lose the setup from the beginning of the year, of the dashboard pages, but I can always redo those. Yes, so that is the first notebook that I have. And then the second notebook that I have is also a Leuchtturm 1917 notebook, but this one is actually lined. And I went back and forth whether I wanted it to be lined or dot grid, but I really thought lined was the way to go. This notebook is going to be specifically for goal planning for 2023. Now, I'm really excited about this. I actually got this a few months ago. I had not touched it at all because I wanted to do this video and I was waiting for all of my other stuff to come in. However, I did just start picking it up a couple of days ago, and I've started to write a bunch of stuff in here, which I will share with you later. But right now it's a bullet journal, but it is a lined bullet journal. It's obviously, it is just lined pages. It does have the index up at the front where you can write down the pages of everything. This is going to be all for goal planning for 2023. This is the first year in, I think, 9 years that I will not be using Power Sheets. And that is crazy to me because I've been using Power Sheets so long. I really like the process of the prep work, and I have really enjoyed utilizing their tending list to help me manage my goal setting process. I have been goal setting since high school, which was a long time ago for me at this point. So, goal setting is something that I always have loved to do, and I've been sharing about it on my website since I started sharing on Townsend House in 2011, and I think there's probably some goal stuff on my old blog from like 2006 to 2010, but goal setting is something that I love to do. And I always do a reflection, I always brain dump, I always have a ton of different ideas, and I really enjoy that process. The changes that have come to the Power Sheets over the past couple of years have made it they've made it a much more streamlined process for the Power Sheets product. However, for me personally, they've taken away a lot of the things that really drew me to Power Sheets to begin with. And because of that, it wasn't working for me in the way that I needed it to. And when something's not working, you have to put it aside. There's nothing wrong with that. I was making so many changes in the Power Sheets, it wasn't worth it to pay the price for the Power Sheets. I did purchase the Power Sheets this year and went through them. I have a whole review and walkthrough of these if you're interested in it. And I actually got some other goal planners, if you could see them down behind my shoulder, to see if I could figure out a new goal planner to use, and I couldn't. I just kept coming back to this notebook idea, and it's something that I've been considering since about June, July, of moving back into a notebook, which is what I used to do before Power Sheets. I used to just use my journal to brain dump and flesh out ideas and write about things that I wanted to accomplish, different things that I wanted to do in the year ahead. And so that is what I'm going to use this for. Now, all of my goal stuff will not be in here. What will be in here is all of the prep work that I plan to do, which is stuff that I am creating on my own. I may take things from the other goal planning products that I have looked at, and maybe from previous power sheets. I will have all kinds of prep work in here. I will also have quarterly refreshes in here, and all of that information and action plans, that will all be in here. But the tending list and action plans and other steps that I need to take throughout the month, I will continue to put in these monthly dashboard pages in my daily duo. The same as it looks over here, it's just going to be in my daily planner instead. And I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to have 2 goal planners. But what I realized was the reflection and setting my goals and my quarterly refresh, my 90-day goal setting, all of that stuff living in one notebook isn't really going to impact my day-to-day. It's not something that I need to refer to constantly. This is what I need to see daily. And so because I have these pages available to me in my daily planner, I will be able to go back and forth. It is not ideal. I am not huge on going back and forth in a planner. That's probably why I have so many. But I think in this case, I think it's going to continue to work. I just need to make sure that I am actually looking at it regularly. If I end up not liking the home planner or not utilizing it as much as I thought that I would, and I do go back to my weekly life planner, I will set up my dashboard pages in the weekly planner instead. So I'm giving myself a few months in 2023 to figure out if this planning system will work for me. But because academic planners launch in, April, May of 2023, I will be able to figure out if I want to stay in the home planner, if I want more digital or online planning for budgeting, if the larger daily planner is working for me, or if I want to go back to a weekly and the A5 daily planner. All of that stuff is stuff that I can figure out, but I am going to give it a try for the first half of 2023, see how that goes, and hopefully I will reach planner peace for the time being. I've had planner peace up until about this year, up until 2022, when I started to see that I needed a bunch of changes. So that is my planner stack for 2023. I know that it's a lot. I should have prefaced this video originally with, it's a lot of planners and it won't work for everybody, but it really works for me and it helps keep me on track of things. And that is what is the most important thing, obviously. And so I will say what I always say, take what you think you might like and just let go of the rest. It doesn't matter if my system works for you or not. You do not have to use my full system. And getting all of the products that I talk about and trying to implement it for yourself may not work. You really have to consider your planning process, the things that you need to keep track of, and what is important to you to keep track of on a day-to-day basis. I hope that you liked this video. It was fun for me to make. I always like sharing about the planners that I'm using. Yes, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.